Hello everyone and welcome to another News Coolum video, and I guess Chevrolet Bolt EV battery update. I don't know. This is again just one of, I guess, my more local drives, but some of our local stores don't have some things that we need, and so yeah, I'm going to be running around doing that. But the problem is we're in the middle of like a severe winter weather event. I don't know. Basically in California, that means rain. Yeah, they're probably going to get about 4 feet of snow in the mountains, but here it's not quite cold enough. This is going to still probably be around a 200-mile trip if I can plan things properly. I don't think I need to go all the way into Redding, and one of my favorite chargers there is apparently still down. You know, I've made some outrageous claims lately, like the idea that I think that the ChargePoint Express 250 might actually be the most reliable public charger currently deployed. I mean, fast activation times, really easy to use, and super, super reliable. I think I've only ever encountered one that's been down. And then now I have to, eat my words, because apparently an entire site of 4 ChargePoint Express 250s is down. But then I brought up the PlugShare image. So I hope you'll forgive ChargePoint if their site went down. Oh, how does that even happen? Anyway, all joking aside, well, maybe not all joking aside, that means I will not be using the Redding Sundial Bridge charging location, which is unfortunate because I really do like that site. It's a great site. But no, I just wanted to catch some things up with the battery. I still don't have enough confidence in it yet to do a full capacity test. But I've been sort of remiss because, not only did my Bolt EV get a new battery, my old burner phone got a new battery too, right? So I had to replace this battery in my Nexus because this was what my Torque Pro was installed in. It was dying. It wasn't able to keep up with things. And so I replaced the battery. So now I should be able to do at least some screen capture, some logging, things like that. And a lot of people ask about this, and I never really gave an answer. But I just bought a generic OBD2 reader. This is a wireless Bluetooth OBD2 reader. I think I got it off of Amazon or whatever. It was like $10 or something like that. And it worked with my phone, Android compatible. And you just plug this into the OBD2 port, and then it will sync up with your device. And that's how my Torque Pro is getting a reading. Now, I don't rely on Torque Pro for their capacity estimates, because in my opinion they vary so widely that they're completely untrustworthy and they don't reflect my experience. But in the absence of being able to test my battery capacity the way that I actually would prefer to, I'm just going to start using this a little bit more because I want to also see things like voltage, pack temperature, things like that. And Torque Pro plus an OBD2 reader is the best way to do that. And along the line of my long list of mistakes that I've made recently, my poor life choices, I plugged in, well, I didn't plug in last night, but I plugged in this morning. And I guess I either didn't anticipate leaving this early, or, I maybe didn't get up early enough. I don't know. But on the level 2 charger, I still haven't fully charged this battery yet. And the fact that it will hit full and then keep drawing power, again, means that it's not full. But it also means that on level 2, who knows, it could take an extra hour or something that the computer, I didn't anticipate. So, we're not necessarily, again, going to be able to do a true battery capacity test based on true to full and down. And I've talked to some other Bolt EV owners, and they have mentioned that, yes, this is an issue where it's been taking them weeks or months even to get their batteries to fully relearn. And it maybe seems like the older the Bolt EV, the longer it's taking that car to learn what new capacity it has. So I think that's the boat that I'm in. But either way, I'm burning rain clouds. I got to get going, right? So we got 200 miles to drive probably and a decent amount of shopping to do. So let's hit the road. So I know I said that I wasn't planning on going all the way into Reading, but I decided to come here anyway. There are some things I wanted from this shopping mart, and I figured I'd go to the farthest place first. And funny enough, this is rural Northern California, but there's a Nissan Leaf and a Ford Mustang Mach-E back there. So we're starting to see a lot more electric vehicles populate even these sort of rural, very much conservative, if you want to speak to it politically, counties in Northern California. And I mean, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but this is why I get so aggravated when people try to make electric vehicles a political topic, because it's really not. It just turns out that it's apolitical when you find a car that's nicer to drive, quieter, cleaner, less maintenance, doesn't smell, cheaper to own, and you can, you have that self-reliance aspect of being able to fuel it at home, oftentimes off of the power that you generate yourself. So we get that little diatribe out of the way. Like 118 miles in, we're averaging about 3 miles per kilowatt hour. I was sort of watching Torque Pro as I went along, and the thing is, even now, it's still out of whack, and now I think I see what people are talking about, where they're saying that in order for them to really get the battery settled in, they actually had to top up to 100% and leave it plugged in with like a level 1 AC, so 120 volt AC charger, really low power, and just let it trickle feed all the way to full and just stay there, because these cells are not balanced. That's the thing that I could tell from Torque Pro, is the readings are all over the place. So not only is the computer not getting the right reading, those readings are all over the place, right? So it would read like it's full with over 4 volts per cell, but the moment any sort of load goes on it, it drops down to like 3.9 or 3.8, telling me that it really doesn't know where the cells are supposed to be right now. And there's such a huge discrepancy from cell to cell to cell, more than, a couple, even tenths of a volt at some points. So I think this battery definitely needs to be top balanced. And that's probably, I think, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off Hilltop Reserve mode and plug in on my level 1 AC charger and just let that sort of trickle charge. I don't know. I don't like leaving a battery full for that long, but at some point you do have to get all of the cells up to the right voltage, up to the same voltage. And if that's what it takes to balance it out, well then, that's what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, now, we only have 30% battery left, woohoo, and we're only halfway into the trip. So I am going to have to charge. There's no way around that. But I have a lot of shopping to do, and I'm at the farthest north that I have to go. So I'm just going to, head back south again and figure it out as I go. I probably need to grab lunch, so I'll maybe try to find a charger that works with that. So let's start heading out. All right, well, we're here at Vittles Restaurant. The charge point was open, so I figured I'd go ahead and just stop here and use this ChargePoint Express. Now, the charging speeds are a little bit slow, 38 kilowatt, and I don't know if that's the battery temperature. According to Torque Pro, is about 64 degrees right now, so I don't know if that's something that's a little bit cold, because right now the charging amps are only, I think it's 110 amps. So it's not the fastest charging speed right now. I think this is rated as a 62.5, so it should max out the Bolt EV. But it's certainly not. Either it's on the Bolt side or on the something with the ChargePoint unit side, but doesn't really matter, because I'm going to go grab something to eat anyway, and then, I'll let this handle itself while I eat, and then I can finish doing my shopping on the return trip. It should be fine, but we'll check in, and probably, I don't know how long it's going to take to get my food and eat, so hopefully not more than about 30 minutes, but, however long it takes, so even 45 minutes to have a sit-down meal, at least I'm juicing up while I do it. So let's go grab something to eat. All right, so that worked out pretty well. Had a decent meal, sit-down meal. I got to avoid the Electrify America chargers on the other side of the freeway. Like I said, the charging speed was a little bit slow, but that very likely could be due to the Bolt EV's battery temperature. A little bit on the low side for the Bolt EV. Maybe that's why it wasn't charging as quickly. The battery temperature now is up to about 80 degrees. But then again, it could also be the charger. So either way, though, we're up to what's being reported as like 73% battery. I still probably will need to charge again, just because this is all freeway. I had a bit of a tailwind coming back. So there might be a need to top up just a little bit. This isn't going to be quite 100% battery both directions, but it could push it to the point that I don't want to. There's no reason risking, right, heading up into the mountains into a rainstorm with not enough battery capacity. But I still have at least 2 to 3 shopping and or banking stops left to do. So even if I do have to charge again, it's not going to be the end of the world. But yeah, I think it's starting to rain again. I think we just need to hit the road. All right, so I got all my shopping done, and I'm stopping here in Orland at the Pilot. Now, I'm not even turning the car off. There's actually an EVgo charger on the other side of the freeway, the one that I use quite often, actually. Now, this is just I'm going to take a back road to get home. According to Torque Pro, I have 40% battery, pretty much aligns with what I'm seeing on the DIC for the Bolt EV. But, yeah, I only have about 50, 60 miles to go home, and this is going to be slower driving. Yeah, there'll be an elevation, but basically I want to kind of get the car down to as low as I can, because I think I'm just going to plug in with level 1 AC charging, just 120 volt. Based on the differentials that I'm seeing in the battery voltages, I'm just going to let it trickle charge from, hopefully I can get it down below 10% by the time I get home, to, all the way up to 100%. And that's a process that will probably take 3 days, maybe. I do have something to do on Monday, so I don't know. The car might not even be charged by then. So yeah, either way, that's the plan now. So like I said, I just wanted to stop here. And one of the other reasons I wanted to stop at this Pilot, because it's not convenient. I don't need gas, though apparently it is down to $4 a gallon. So if you need it, but this is one of the Pilot stations that's slated for the phase 1 build out of the EVgo Extend, the GM funded Ultium ready charging sites, and they're going to feature apparently at least six 350 kilowatt DC fast chargers per site with pull-through parking and some sort of a solar canopy. Now, I'm not seeing any sort of construction, but I wouldn't be surprised if where I'm parked right now is where that happens. It's sort of an island that's adjacent to the main building, to the pumps and everything else, kind of out of the way. But it would definitely lend itself to that. And if they're doing a solar canopy, all the better, because basically right now we're directly facing north, so you'd have a solar canopy with almost a direct south-facing angle. So something like this location here at the Pilot station would probably be perfect for that EVgo Ultium ready charger setup. And again, that gives you 50 kilowatt chargers next to a restaurant on one side of the freeway, and 350 kilowatt chargers with full pull through. Actually, both of them would facilitate up to a 40-foot trailer, in theory, right? Like this site, I don't know, but over there, it's the parking lot is like basically an acre. But no lines in Northern California, because if we had lines, we'd have to cross them. But yeah, so either way, really, this will be a great trailer-friendly site, EV truck-friendly site, and like I said, you have the option for a slower charger next to a restaurant on the other side of the freeway. Yeah, this will be a great location as far as EV Go is concerned for pulling off the freeway, you know, having 10 chargers off of a single off-ramp one direction or the other. And it's a California highway too, so this is one that crosses east-west across the state. So anyway, but yeah, I think I'm just going to close out for now. It's pretty much, everything is in line. The only big shocker for me is just how out of whack the battery cells were, and as I get lower, it does look like they're starting to balance out and they're starting to even out. So yeah, I think just a few more cycles, and like I said, maybe a trickle charge on 120 volt all the way up to 100% is going to do the trick, hopefully. But anyway, I'll keep everyone posted, and right now, otherwise, the battery is working great. I've got no complaints. I just did what's going to end up being about a 230, 240 mile trip with a single charge during a lunch stop of about 35, 40 minutes, whatever it ended up being. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. I hope it was informative. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and thank you for watching.